I want you to imagine stepping into, like, the most chaotic, high-stakes corporate turnaround
Oh, well,
imaginable.
the ultimate nightmare scenario.
Right, like the kind of situation where the building is practically on fire, the board of directors is just completely panicking, and the CEO's job is hanging by the thinnest, most frayed thread you can possibly picture.
Yeah, they are backed into a corner.
Exactly. And to save the company, to pull off an absolute miracle, what does that desperate CEO do? They hire a wild card.
Right.
Someone with zero experience in that specific industry, just handing over the keys to a total unknown and saying, fix it.
It is the ultimate gamble. I mean, you are bypassing every established safe protocol because, well, the safe protocols already failed you.
Yeah, they clearly didn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
So it becomes a binary outcome. It either turns into this legendary success story
Yeah.
or it just accelerates the total collapse of the organization.
Well, that exact corporate turnaround is what we are looking at today in the world of college football. So welcome to today's Deep Dive.
Glad to be here.
We are unpacking the incredibly dramatic, just fascinating storyline brewing at Oklahoma State as we head into the 2026-2027 season.
It's a huge storyline.
It really is. And we've got a stack of sources here. We're looking at recruiting stats, narrative backgrounds, the coaching dynamics. And our mission for you today is to figure out exactly what happens when a major program bets its entire future, and really its very survival, on a totally unproven commodity.
We are looking at a textbook case study in what happens when a system is pushed to its absolute breaking point. I mean, Oklahoma State is abandoning its entire established identity out of sheer necessity.
Out of desperation, really. Let's set the stage with the man in charge, head coach Francis Eaton.
Right.
He is sitting on what might be the hottest seat in the entirety of college football right now. I mean, he's coming off a 1-11 season.
Brutal.
And if you follow the sport, you know going 1-11 means the culture is dead on arrival.
Completely dead.
You don't need a new playbook at that point. You need, like, an exorcism.
Yeah. Eaton knows that if he just fires a coordinator and brings in another, standard, typical college coach who runs the exact same traditional systems, the administration won't buy it.
No, the boosters would revolt.
Exactly. The fans won't buy it. And most importantly, his own players won't buy it. He needs a massive shock to the system to jolt that locker room awake.
Which brings us to the wild card. Enter Malik Hargrove Jr.
Here we go.
This is the solution Eaton landed on, and it has sent shockwaves everywhere.
Oh.
Malik is a 38-year-old black offensive coordinator from Georgia. But the thing causing immense controversy here, the thing everyone is talking about, is that he has absolutely zero coaching experience at the college level.
None.
None at all.
Which, in the insular, highly traditional world of college football coaching, that is almost unheard of for a major program coordinator job.
Right. You're supposed to pay your dues.
Exactly. You're supposed to climb the ladder. You're a position coach, then a lower tier coordinator, then maybe a major conference job. You don't just jump straight to the top.
But his backstory is wild. The sources outline this incredible history. Malik was a high school legend, a record-setting quarterback in Georgia, just an absolute phenom.
Right.
He gets to college, goes to Georgia Tech, and he just rides the bench.
Which is crazy given his high school stats.
Right. And the sources specifically point out that his college career was derailed by backstage politics.
Ah, the classic college football politics.
Right. So he graduates, leaves the college game behind entirely, goes back home to coach the Dublin Bulldogs, and turns them into this unstoppable powerhouse.
4 straight undefeated championship seasons.
4 undefeated.
He essentially became a hometown deity. I mean, he proved he could build a culture of dominance from the ground up. And high school coaching, especially at that elite, undefeated championship level, it requires a profound ability to connect with young athletes.
Right, to motivate them.
Yeah, to get them to run through brick walls for you.
I hear that and I respect it, but this is where I struggle. Taking a high school coach and making him a major college coordinator is like taking a brilliant, rebellious indie film director.
Oh, I like this analogy.
Like someone who makes raw $50,000 festival movies, right? And suddenly the studio hands them a $300 million Marvel blockbuster budget. It's a totally different scale.
It is a massive jump.
The sources describe Malik as this fiery, intense players coach with immense charisma. But can that raw indie director charisma actually translate to the cutthroat, deeply corporate world of major college football?
That is the exact tension of this hire. That's the whole gamble. Eaton doesn't need a corporate manager right now. He needs a revival tent preacher.
Right.
Malik represents a total cultural reset. Eaton is essentially betting that Malik's sheer force of personality will bridge the gap in his lack of college-level schematic experience.
Well, if the indie director is taking the job, he clearly needs a new script. Because Oklahoma State used to run what is known as a power spread.
Right, which is a very heavy system.
Super heavy. It's plotting. It requires you to have these absolute maulers on the offensive line to enforce your will. And clearly, at 111, Oklahoma State was not enforcing their will on anybody.
They were getting pushed around.
So Malik walks in and he pivots to a completely new offensive identity, a balanced spread, no huddle, fast break offense.
Total 180.
Yeah. He's preaching tempo, spacing, balance, and explosive playmaking. And he operates as just the OC, right? But Eaton has given him unquestioned freedom to build this offense exactly his way.
Which he needs if this is going to work.
The sources paint this really vivid picture of Malik on the sidelines. He is a fiery, intense presence, constantly clutching his play call sheet, just obsessively looking for the next angle to attack and exploit a defense.
Always looking for an edge.
Always. But this schematic shift is drastic. It feels like they are trading in a heavy armored tank for a fleet of lightweight sports cars.
That's a good way to put it.
And sure, a sports car is thrilling, right? But if a sports car hits a speed bump or gets into a collision, it doesn't offer a lot of protection. You're going to get crushed.
That's a great way to visualize it, provided we look at how a sports car actually wins.
Okay, how does it win?
A sports car doesn't win by surviving a crash. It wins by dodging the traffic entirely.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so here is the underlying logic behind why Malik has to make this shift. A fast break, tempo offense is the ultimate equalizer in football. If you are a 111 team, by definition, you do not have the biggest, strongest, or most talented players on the field.
Obviously not.
Right, so if you run a tank at another bigger tank, you just get crushed. You lose the physics battle.
Because they have bigger guys, so you have to change the math.
Exactly, you change the geometry of the field. A fast break offense uses speed and spacing to completely exhaust the opposing defense.
How does that actually work mechanically, though?
Well, you line up 4 wide receivers at the extreme edges of the field. And by doing that, the defense is physically forced to spread their linebackers out to cover them.
Which opens up the middle.
Exactly. It creates mathematical voids in the middle of the field, and then you force them to line up quickly, preventing them from making substitutions.
Yeah.
So you aren't trying to overpower them. You're trying to outrun them and make them think while they're literally gasping for air.
Wow. Okay, so if you've ever been tasked with a project at work where your budget was slashed in half, but your boss kept the exact same expectations, you know exactly the kind of pressure Malik is under right now.
Oh, absolutely.
He has to manufacture production without the premium resources. Which brings us to where Malik's brilliant whiteboard theory crashes headfirst into physical reality.
Transfer portal.
Yes, the portal. Because a fast break offense requires elite speed and precision. Yet, when I look at the transfer portal results going into week 1 of the 2026 offseason, things look incredibly grim.
This is where the pressure cooker really turns up, because the internal demands are staggering.
Staggering is honestly an understatement. Despite going 111 last year, the sources say the administration and the boosters genuinely believe this program can make a playoff push.
It's wild.
Or at the very least, reach the conference championship game in year 1 under Malik. Year 1.
Going from 1 win to a conference championship is a statistical anomaly. I mean, it completely ignores the reality of roster construction.
It feels completely detached from reality. Let's look at that roster construction. Malik has to largely work with the previous recruiting class, the guys who went 111.
Right, the old regime's guys.
And in the transfer portal, he just took some massive, very public hits. USC and Stanford just stole his top 2 quarterback targets.
I heard.
Huge blow. Trey Owens, who was a huge target, he signed with USC. And then Melvin Longacre packed his bags and signed with Stanford.
Those are the elite plug-and-play field generals that make a new offensive system instantly credible.
Exactly. They make it work on day 1.
Losing them is a massive blow to the immediate timeline.
So USC and Stanford take the elite talent, leaving Malik basically scraping the barrel. Oklahoma State finishes with just the 45th ranked recruiting class in the country.
45th. Yeah, that's tough.
So explain to me how any administration, any athletic director, looks at a 111 roster, hands it to a 38-year-old OC with no college experience, watches him miss out on his top quarterbacks, ends up with the 45th ranked recruiting class, and still demands a playoff run. How is that not pure delusion?
Well, it might look like delusion, but this raises an important point about the paradox of modern college football. Patience simply no longer exists.
Clearly not.
Right. With the advent of the transfer portal and the new financial landscape of the sport, the assumption from administrators is that you can flip a roster overnight. They don't care about the 45th ranking.
They just want to win.
They care about the return on their multi-million-dollar investment. Malik is under suffocating pressure to prove his system works immediately, regardless of the talent deficit. He isn't being given 3 years to build a culture. He's being asked to produce a miracle in 10 months.
Okay, so with the plug-and-play guys gone, who is actually running this system? Because looking at the pieces he brought in, the physical specs are, honestly, they're alarming.
They're definitely unconventional.
Let's break down the specific offensive pieces Malik secured to begin shaping his identity. The biggest guy in this offensive haul is Melo Vildor. He's an athlete out of Philadelphia.
All right.
And he's only 6'1", 213 pounds, nationally ranked 1745th, a 3-star recruit.
Right.
Then you have your headline halfback, James Diamond, out of Tuttle, Oklahoma. He is 5'9" and 160 pounds soaking wet.
160 pounds.
Yes, 160. Ranked 467th nationally, 50th at its position, also a 3-star. Then you have Chantrell Best from Mansfield, Texas, listed as an athlete, coming in at 170 pounds, 6 foot even, ranked 1,259th nationally.
Another 3-star.
Yep. And finally, Jalen Averill, a wide receiver from Parma, Michigan,
Right.
5'10", 174 pounds, ranked the 125th nationally, 3-star.
It's a very specific type of player.
But think about it. You're bringing 160-pound and 170-pound 3-star recruits into a major conference where they are going to be hunted by 240-pound linebackers. Explain to me how a 160-pound halfback survives a multi-month college football schedule.
Well, traditionalists will look at that list and argue they won't survive. They'll say they're going to get broken in half. Yeah. But if we analyze the geometry we talked about earlier, Malik's strategy becomes crystal clear.
Okay, lay it out for me.
He isn't looking for downhill bruisers. He is hunting for versatile puzzle pieces. Notice how guys like Chantrell Best and Melo Vildor are listed simply as H-athlete.
Right, not specific position.
Exactly. That means they can line up in the slot, out wide, or in the backfield.
Oh, I see. They're movable chess pieces designed to exploit those mathematical voids you mentioned.
Precisely. To run a fast break offense, you need lighter, quicker players who can process the game at high speed and exploit open grass. It's not about finding the best overall players who can win a one-on-one blocking drill.
Because they'd lose that drill.
Right. It's about finding the specific players for the fast break. A 160-pound halfback like James Diamond isn't going to run between the tackles. He's going to catch a swing pass in the flat with 10 yards of open space in front of him.
Catch them in space.
Yes. Malik is betting that speed, tempo, and schematic leverage will keep his undersized guys from taking direct squaring hits from those 240-pound linebackers.
It goes right back to the sports car dodging the traffic.
Exactly. Don't get hit in the first place.
Okay, let's take a step back and wrap up these incredible stakes because this situation is an absolute powder keg. You have a desperate head coach in Francis Eaton managing a 111 team, sitting on a seat so hot it's melting.
It's scorching.
And to save his job, he brings in an unknown high school coaching legend, Malik Hargrove Jr.
And Malik institutes a radical shift, totally abandoning the heavy power spread for a high-flying, no-huddle, fast-break offense that relies entirely on speed and spacing.
Right. And he has to execute this shift and meet completely unrealistic playoff expectations using a roster he didn't even fully recruit. Having missed out on his top quarterbacks, Trey Owens and Melvin Longacre, to USC and Stanford.
Yeah, he's working at a huge deficit.
And relying on a 45th ranked recruiting class headlined by a 160-pound running back.
What you're going to watch unfold this season is basically a laboratory experiment in whether pure leadership, infectious charisma, and a brilliant schematic system can overcome an undeniable, quantifiable talent deficit.
It's the indie director trying to shoot the blockbuster with a handy cam.
Perfectly said.
But here's the thought I want to leave you with today. We just spent a lot of time talking about how Malik's scheme protects his undersized players by keeping them in open space, right?
Right.
We talked about how the sports car wins by dodging traffic. But what happens if this lightweight sports car blows a tire?
Oh, that's the scary part.
With a roster this small, lacking premium depth across the board, one major injury to a key chess piece like James Diamond or Chantrell Best might not just ruin a single game. It could completely collapse the delicate geometry of this entire collegiate experiment. When your margin for error is 0, every single snap is a roll of the dice.
The durability of that system will be the ultimate test, no question.
But beyond the geometry, there's a deeper narrative here. Malik's entire college playing career at Georgia Tech was derailed by backstage politics.
Right. He sat on the bench.
Now, stepping into a high-pressure collegiate coaching role with unrealistic playoff demands and a head coach on the hot seat, will his undefeated high school playbook be enough to save him? Or is he about to crash headfirst into the exact same college politics he thought he left behind?
That is the million-dollar question.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Keep your eyes on Oklahoma State this season. It's going to be a fascinating ride.